All right, welcome everybody. As I said, to our business presentation today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Wendy Delgado, and I'm the first ambassador in the whole American continent for this beautiful project that we literally just fell in love with. I'm originally an oral surgeon. I have a master's degree in cosmetic dentistry. I'm also a professional opera singer. Maybe some of you heard me singing back in New Delhi, India, and what was that, 2019? I studied at a conservatory in Italy. I'm also a international certified speaker. I'm a professional investor and also a professional networker. In the last company that I worked, I actually built a business of around 20,000 people in 80 different countries around the world.
It wasn't natural,
And if you
but
can
actually people
please help
smile at
me
me.
with your mics, actually, let me mute everybody. That's probably easier. There you go. And the business that we're going to see today is Evodeaf, which is the evolution of the deaf people, or if you might, the world of the deaf. It comes from these two beautiful words, and you're going to see what an amazing project we're working in right now. And this idea was originally born from the heart of Mr. Francesco Cannone. So in this other company that we were working a couple of years ago, I actually met Francesco because he was one of the best leaders in Italy. And so because of his amazing job, the company basically charged him of developing everything that had to do with the community of deaf people. And so he was actually, it was born because when he was given a course, this was a financial education course. This lady that is on the screen, Miss Anna, came to the course as a student, and he said she was more than ready to be my student, but I wasn't ready to be his teacher because the thing is that Anna is deaf and he doesn't know sign language. So there was no way for them to communicate unless they had an interpreter with them. And of course, you all know that to have an interpreter is really expensive, especially in Europe. And so their friendship began to grow, but the thing was that they always had this issue, like, we cannot communicate unless we have an interpreter. So they started thinking what they could do in order to make possible for them to communicate without having to need another person to translate, right? So this is where our company was born. And basically our mission is to create accessibility for deaf people or people with hearing impairments through our innovative technology. We're going to create partnerships to enter into agreements with organizations and associations at a global level. We're going to go to create services like healthcare, education, interpretation, economic support, and of course, work. We're going to create basically the world's largest support team for the deaf community, and that's going to give them the chance to have a job with us as well. And so what we're seeing on the screen is actually Francesco, our CEO. And as you can see, he's got this little red dots and green lines on his face and body. And basically what we are creating is an avatar that is going to work with artificial intelligence. So what those red dots and those green lines are doing is reading his movements, reading his expressions, so we can translate that into spoken language. So through this technology, we're going to be able to basically gather both worlds together, the world of the deaf people and the world of people like you and me, that we are blessed and we can hear well. So as I said, we're creating an intelligent avatar. And this is something really cool, guys, because one thing you need to understand is that we have no competition in this company. There is no one in the world that is creating a technology that is not even close to what we're developing. And so that was one of the main things. When I saw this project, I understood that we have no competition whatsoever in the world. So that's really cool. So, but the thing is that we're not going to create only an avatar. We're going to create what we call WikiSign, which is basically, I'm pretty sure y'all have heard about Wikipedia, which is the biggest encyclopedia online. And so we're going to create WikiSign, but it's going to be obviously in sign language. And we're going to start it with 6 languages, actually. We're going to have an OCR scan, which basically gives people the opportunity to scan documents or images. And then the avatar is going to pop up and explain them what it is that they're seeing on the image. We're going to have an Evodeaf chat, which is basically the development of a chat with the chance of video calls and the avatars of translating everything so that we can communicate better. We're going to have an app for the cars, which is really amazing because I don't know if you ever thought, and this is something that like I just realized a couple of weeks ago when I started knowing about this business and about how the life of a deaf person is. I don't know if you've ever thought of how does a person with a hearing impairment realizes that they have an emergency vehicle behind them if they're not using the lights, like an ambulance or a patrol, or like, how do they realize if it's not because they have someone knocking on their window telling them, hey, you need to move your car? There's no way for them to realize that there's an emergency vehicle behind, and then they can actually be in danger. So we've developed an app where basically when the avatar detects the sound of a siren, then the avatar pops up and tell the deaf person that there's an emergency vehicle around, and the lights also start blinking. So that's really cool because we're going to actually be able to move these people away from potentially dangerous situations. We're going to have a gaming section. I know on the screen it says kids section, but it's also for grown-up kids because we're going to be able to play games that basically will teach us sign language, and you're also going to be able to earn coins as you play that you are going to be able to exchange for real money in our exchange. So that's really cool. We're going to have a commercial app. Basically, what that does is we're going to create an interactive map where people is going to be able to see which businesses have acquired our avatar. And so they're going to be able to go to these businesses, and they know that they're going to be able to communicate better with the person that is giving them the service. So the cool thing about this app, and this is something that I loved from our project, and actually Manjula can, I know she can share a testimonial of a businessman, which we had a meeting last week, and this is a multi-millionaire man that sold his company for 25 millions, and he saw our project, he fell in love with it, and he said, how can I take this to the corporate world? Because guys, and as I said, something really cool is the fact that Francesco is now being contacted by many men and women in the corporate world because they want to acquire our avatar for their business. Like, these can be used in hospitals, government institutions, schools, universities, any kind of business. Like, we actually just well, at least I didn't know, because of course living in America is completely different than living in Europe, but we learned last week with this person that there's actually a law in the UK and in most countries in Europe that makes it mandatory for employers to employ people with disabilities. At least 3% of the employees in any business, they have to be people with a disability. But so what happens is that most of the employers, they don't even know what to do with these people that they hire because they cannot communicate with them. So we're going to give them an instrument. We're going to give them a tool where they're going to be able to communicate better with these people. And so we're going to, as I said, we're going to be creating many opportunities for the deaf community because, as you all know, as of right now, 5% of the population around the world is deaf. So it's literally millions and millions of deaf people that we're literally changing their lives, guys. So this is what I love from this project. Is not only an opportunity to make money like any other business out there, but we're literally going to be, Mauricio said something yesterday really nice, and he said we're going to be remembered by generations and generations when we create these projects. So one of the coolest things from this application, the commercial app, is it's going to be quote unquote personalized for every excuse me, for every business. Because of course, the technical language that is used in a hospital, it's not the same that it's needed in a bank, for instance. So it's going to be personalized for every business. And then the cool thing is that people are going to be able, with their phones or tablets or whatever device that they have, to scan a QR code. Let's say they go to a museum. And so we're going to have a QR code besides whatever it is that they're looking at, if it's a picture or a photography or a statue or whatever. So we're going to have these QR codes that they're going to be able to scan, and then the avatar is going to pop up and it's going to explain them in sign language what it is that they're seeing on this picture or statue or whatever. So it's really cool. And then we're going to have support. It's going to be 24/7, and it's basically going to be a video call center to help this community, and also of course provide jobs for them, because they're going to have the opportunity to schedule their hours of work from home. And so, as I said, we're going to provide them with jobs, which is really cool. But so, well, I already talked a little bit about the potential market. The potential market is people like me and you. You might have a friend or a member in your family that has hearing impairment. So you can use these avatar to communicate with them. Corporate users, guys, any kind of companies, communication companies, marketing companies, network companies, just name it. We can sell our product to any company out there. Professional users like doctors. Have you ever asked yourself, how does a deaf person go to the doctor? How do they go to a dentist? How can they tell them that, hey, I have a pain specifically in this tooth here? So it's, as I said, it's really hard for them, because they not only have to deal with the medical issues and the cost of the medical treatments, but they also need to bring with them an interpreter. And sometimes, like, I don't know, have you thought what it would be to come to the gynecologist with a complete stranger so that they can translate whatever it is that you have? So guys, we're really, like, if you watch, there's a movie called Coda, The Signs of the Heart, I believe that's the name in English. And it's exactly about the life of two people who are deaf, and then they have a deaf son and a daughter that is well able to hear, and she actually becomes a singer. It's a heart-touching movie. But that's one of the things that happens in the movie, right? This couple needs to go to the doctor, and they have to bring their daughter with them so that she can translate to the doctor what it is that they have. And it turns out it is an STD, right? So it's a very uncomfortable situation for them. And it's really a nice movie to create empathy with the life that we have given to these people, because we have basically separated them, segregated them from our society and from everything that we do. But it's not because we're mean people. It is because we just don't know how to communicate with them. So this is the opportunity to create a bridge into these two worlds, which one of these worlds literally has been, as I said, segregated through all mankind history. So this is the opportunity for us to change that. Institutional users, because as I said, municipalities, hospitals, schools, any institution from the government, and we actually in Italy have a lot of these institutions already waiting for us to create this avatar, because they already want the our product in their institutions. And I don't know if you know, but as of right now, there's more than 72 million deaf people registered in the World Health Organization. And that number is actually growing as we speak. So that's basically one, or the main cause of why I love these projects. But of course, for me to jump into a project, it also had to have an amazing business plan. And that's actually why I decided to join Francesco's project, because what he has created is so innovative and so powerful. He even went beyond the crypto boom, because cryptos are no longer, let's say, quote unquote, the fashion thing, but it's actually NFTs right now what is killing it out there. And so he created an NFT, which is basically a non-fungible token. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a token that proves ownership and authenticity of a digital asset. So I'm going to repeat that. It's a token that proves ownership and authenticity of a digital asset. So what we've created is so unique. It's actually, we're going to be the first token that is dedicated to the deaf community. And so we will issue an NFT in one of the most innovative blockchains in Europe. This is actually among the top 10 blockchain companies in Europe, which is also something that I love from him, because he's working with top of the line companies out there. And we're going to split that NFT into 1 billion fractions. But listen to this, because this is when things get really interesting in this project. We're going to go to private sale and pre-sale, and we will be releasing only, and I'm going to repeat that again, we're going to be releasing only 64 million tokens during these phases. Okay, so the token will be sold only through our back office, and the holders of these NFTs will own the company's intellectual property with all its benefits. So you are actually becoming a co-owner. And we're gonna see in a few more minutes, you will actually receive profits from that, okay? So these are our two coins. We have our Evodeaf coin, which is 1 cent of a euro. We actually, I'm gonna have to correct that slide right there, because it says 1 euro. It's 1 euro, and it's actually 1 cent of a euro. And then our Evodeaf token, which is our NFT token, and it's worth 35 cents. So here's the cool thing. I just told you that we're gonna do the private sale and the pre-sale, and we're going to be releasing only 64 million tokens for sale, right? So the cool thing of these stages, so every stage is going to be 16 million tokens, okay? That's all we're going to be selling per stage. And the cool thing is that right now you can get our token not for 35 cents. We are giving you a discount, a huge discount, a massive discount. So you can get this token for only 5 cents, okay? So for every package, let's say, let's give an example. for every package of $100, or I mean of 100 euros, you're gonna get 2,000 Evodeaf tokens, okay? And 50% of these tokens will be unfrozen on this mini stage after 12 months, and then afterwards 5% each month from month 13 and so on. Our second stage, it's going to be so watch out, guys, because this is really important for you to understand. So on our first phase, I said you're going to get it for 5 cents. These stage, you're going to get it for 8 cents. So instead of getting 2,000 tokens for 100 euros, you're going to get 1,250 Evodeaf tokens. So that's a reduction of almost half of it, right? So, and then the other thing that is going to be happening is that the amount of unfrozen tokens is going to be reduced as well. So instead of getting 50% unlocked on your 12th month, in this one, you're going to get 25% unlocked on your 12th month, and then 5% per month, and so on. And these stage is going to have a duration of 30 days. On our third and fourth stages, we are going to have, it's the same thing, it's 16 million tokens in each one, but the difference is also in the price and the amount of tokens that are going to be unblocked after the 12 months. So on the third stage, you're not gonna get it for 5 or 8. You're gonna get it for 10 cents now. Okay, so that's a reduction of half of the price, right? I mean, of the amount of tokens that you're gonna get, because instead of getting 2,000, then you're gonna get 1,000 for every 100 euros that you invest in these packages. And after the 12 month, then you have 5% of these tokens that are going to be released, okay? And this stage is going to have a duration of 60 days. Then we go to our very last stage. And in this stage, you're not going to be able to get it for 5 or 8 or 10 cents. You're going to get it for 18 cents, which, I mean, for people who is going to jump into this stage is a very cool deal as well, because as you're going to see, the next stage is going to be the launching into the market, and we're going to go out at 35 cents. So it's the opportunity to basically double your capital in a very short period of time. So in this stage, for every 100 euros, you get 555 Evodeaf tokens, and then you're going to get 5% of them unlocked on the 12th month, and so on. And so the cool thing is, as I said, when we go to the market, we're going to go out into the market at a price of 35 cents. Okay, so what are the benefits of having our token? So by holding our NFT, you can own the intellectual property of the Evodeaf company. So you are becoming a co-owner. And that means that because you are a co-owner, you are going to receive profits from the company. From what? From the subscriptions to the app, affiliations, from the e-commerce, from the new tokenization, from the gaming section, from the training courses that were given, from everything that is produced in the company, you're going to be receiving money. So I don't know if it has happened to you, but I've been part of companies that say, yeah, so we're going to split dividends among the people who are the shareholders or the people who have the tokens of the company. And so what happens is, in these other companies, you have to wait till the end of the year to receive these profits or these dividends, right? That's not the case here. We, guys, one of the things that I love from Francesco is he said, Wendy, we want to do something different. We want to create a company that will actually have the ability to create trust in people. We want to create something that is going to be completely transparent, and we want to do things the right way. We want to work in the most just way possible. And so what we're going to do is, because in these other companies, what happens is you have to go through the whole year and you're seeing these quote unquote leaders posting pictures in Dubai, living the millionaire lives. You see how the CEO is giving them Maseratis and Rolls Royces and all these kind of luxury cars and stuff. And then at the end of the year, then the CEO comes and say, oops, you know what? There's no dividends to split. There's only like $5 left, and so you're gonna get 0.000002 per every share that you have, or per every token. And so guys, we didn't want anything like that in these companies. So why am I saying that we want to work with transparency, that we want to do things the right way, is because the tokenomics of this program is done in such way that for every cent, and listen to me guys, for every cent that comes into the company, because it goes through blockchain, it is immediately split into the people who have the NFT and the company. So 20% is going to be split into the co-owners of the NFT, and then the company operates on the other 80% of the money that comes into the business. So this is something that not even our CEO can touch, because obviously if he would, it would be reflected in the blockchain. And as you know, all the transactions in the blockchain are completely transparent and open to the public. So there's no way that we could do that. Hold on, it just closed on my app, my presentation. Give me 1 second. There you go. So guys, as I said, I love this thing because the level of transparency that we're working here is unbelievable. This is our first demo of the avatar. What you're seeing actually is, I don't know, it really excites me to be able to see this. As of right now, we're actually working on the facial expressions, because of course they're very important for people with hearing disabilities. Oh, I just love it, guys. As I said, it's the opportunity just to, you know, be that transformation opportunity for these people. And so guys, before we start giving you the great news about what happened this week in our team and in the company, I just wanted to let you know that what we have on the screen right now are our partners. We are partnering with all these companies that you see there. There's actually around 200 people working every day in this project so we can make this a reality. And one of the coolest things is that like 3 weekends ago, we participated in the blockchain week at Rome. And so everybody was so interested in our stand and in our project and what we're doing. But the cool thing is that not only private users like me and you approached our stand, but also the companies who were there, the CEOs of other companies were coming to Francesco to tell him, hey, we want your product in our company. How can we do to get it? And as I said, guys, so the people who work in the corporate world can see that we have such an amazing tool here, such a powerful tool here to help other people. Because I guess, you know, that the Blockchain Week in Rome is basically the biggest expo in Italy for all the companies that are working in the crypto and blockchain world. So can you imagine like all the other CEOs coming to us to tell us, hey, we want your product in our company? Because if you think, and I just showed you how there's millions and millions of deaf people around the world, but they have jobs. They move millions of dollars per year, and most businesses haven't been able to develop their deaf community people, but because we don't know how to communicate with them. So with these, we're going to have the ability to help them become part of our businesses as well. So that's really cool. So one of the good things, and this is actually to one of the things that I love the most about this project, is it's not an MLM. Like, guys, I don't know about you, but I was like sick and tired, honestly, of all that industry. I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. I didn't want to know about any MLMs. I get introduced to so many businesses on a daily basis. If I show you my cell phone, I can basically show you how I get invitations to a lot of businesses every day, either MLM products or crypto companies or Bitcoin platforms or whatever. And I was just like so sick and tired. I didn't even want to take a look at them. So the cool thing here, when Francesco invited me, that was probably about a month and a half ago or so. And I was very skeptical. I didn't want to hear about it. But then Maurizio, my upline, he started hammering on it, right? He would send me videos, he would send me pictures, he would send me news about the company and all these things that I was so rude, guys. I wouldn't even open them, okay? And so one of these days that he was hammering, hey, Dr. Wendy, you need to see these. Hey, Dr. Wendy, please open these video and watch it. Hey, you need to see what we're doing with Francesco. Hey, you need to see this beautiful project. And I'm like, dude, seriously, like, I'm going to open this thing just to tell this guy with all property that I don't want to be a part of it, that I'm sick and tired of MLMs, that like, I was so judgmental even before watching the project. But guys, I am so thankful that I call him my Italian hammer, because I'm just so thankful that he did, because the minute that I clicked on that video that he sent me, I completely fell in love with this project. And let me tell you, one of the things is that in that video that he shared with me, it was Francesco doing the presentation where there was a group of deaf people and people with hearing impairments. And so at the end of the presentation, one of them opened their microphone and she started saying, like, you could tell that this was a person with a hearing impairment because the way they talk is different. So that's actually one of the myths that we need to start educating people, is that deaf people can actually talk if they're taught how to do it. And so she started speaking, like, you could hear this little bit of an accent that is different. So you could tell this was a person with a hearing impairment. But she said, you know what, Francesco, I really want to thank you, because in so many billions of people in this planet, you have been the only one who has thought of doing something for us. And that guy's like, well, y'all know me, I cry like I'm a baby, like a cry baby. And I literally started tearing, and I'm like, dude, I have to do this thing. I have to share this opportunity with the world. But then the cool thing is, if you want to be like me and share this opportunity with more people, then you are going to be able to make money with our referral program. So as I said, this is not an MLM. We only have 2 referral levels, because we want to give, how do you call that in English, sustainability to the project. If we do a 7, 8, or 9 levels deep referral program, then that means if we have to pay 45 or 50% in commissions, we're going to have to raise the prices of everything also by 45%. So, and that's also going to make it longer in time, if that makes sense. So we didn't want that. We wanted to create a project where people is going to be able to capitalize with their investments in a short amount of time. And so this is why we decided to only have these 2 levels in our referral program, but it's also a very strong one. Why? Because most people anyways, they don't have the ability to create a structure that is deep, who knows how many levels. That's something that usually is done by professional networkers, but not by regular people. Like most people will invite their friends, and maybe some of their friends will invite more of their friends, but then regular people will only profit from 2 or 3 levels deep. So that we wanted to do something that would help the majority of the people. And so that's why we created this compensation plan. So for every person that you invite into this project and they want to buy our tokens and support our mission, you're going to get 10% of every investment that they make. And if they invite more people on your second level, you're going to get also a 10%, but you're going to receive that 10% in this way. 5% is going to be in commissions, and then the other 5% is going to be in Evodeaf tokens, which is really cool because, as I said earlier, you are going to be receiving profits from all the money that comes into the company once we launch this to the open market. Okay, so you can become an ambassador of our company. We're actually looking for you, and you can be the first Evodeaf ambassador in your area. Actually, we have already one ambassador in UK, Mrs. Gale, which I love because she's doing an amazing job with Manjula. We're also waiting for Manjula to become an ambassador. And so guys, whatever region that you are in UK, or I don't know, India or Nepal or wherever, you can become an ambassador and be one of the first people to promote our business in that area. So that's basically the business side to it. I want to share some amazing news with you guys. As of last week, we had our first English speaking country in our back office, which was, of course, the UK. And this is, I really, guys, one of the things that I love from this project is that I have the ability to have the opportunity to communicate directly with Francesco and to work with him hand in hand. And so on the very first webinar that we did for the UK, which was, I don't know, maybe like a week and a half ago, we realized that UK was not in our back office. And so for that because you have to go through the KYC, right? So if we didn't have UK in our back office, then people wouldn't be able to do the KYC. And when we realized that, Francesco said, I'm calling my project manager immediately, and I'm going to tell him to put UK, and it needs to be ready in the next 24 hours. And that's literally what happened, guys. In the matter of 24 hours, we already had the UK into our back office. So the support that we're getting from Francesco and from Maurizio is crazy. I've never seen anything like it before, honestly. And so this last week, we also started the inclusion of the Latin American countries. And the first one was my beloved country, Costa Rica. You guys might know I'm originally from Costa Rica. I'm living in the States as of right now, but that's my native country. Also, one of the greatest news that I wanted to share with you is that payments with Bitcoins will be available from this week on. So now you are going to have the possibility to pay in our back office, not only with bank deposits or credit and debit cards, but also with Bitcoins, okay? In just our first week, our team already has ambassadors in the UK, as I told you, USA, Spain, Costa Rica, and Mexico and Honduras are on their way. So guys, what are you waiting for to become the first one in your country or region? This week, guys, we are also celebrating the inclusion of the USA in our platform. And this was also a big deal for us because, as you know, these kind of companies have to go through a lot of regulations here in the US. And so it literally costed more than $100,000 to be able to include the US in our project. And wow, I literally have to say that I have so much respect for Francesco and what he's doing, because he didn't even hesitate to include the US in our platform, regardless the crazy price that he had to pay for it. And we had also more new Latin American countries that were added to our back office: Argentina, Colombia, Ecuador, El Salvador, Honduras, Mexico, and Peru. And all these happened because, as I said, we just have an amazing support from Francesco. And so guys, just to wrap up this presentation today, I just want to leave you with a thought. And it is that you might be thinking that this project is for deaf people only. And I want you to think twice, okay? As of right now, and I know this article is in Spanish, I'm gonna do the my due diligence and try to find some information for you guys in English as well. But basically what this article is saying is that the World Health Organization is saying that there's more than 5% of the world population right now that is deaf. By 2050, 10% of that population is going to be deaf. And yesterday, there was this leader from Argentina that sent me an article that says that in 30 years, and this is, guys, this is serious. This is not, I'm not even joking here. And I can show you the article in Spanish too. The World Health Organization is projecting that for in 30 years, one third, guys, of the population worldwide is going to be deaf. Why? Because there's two main causes for becoming deaf. And one of them is aging. And I have news for you guys, but as I speak, we're all aging. Like if one of you is becoming younger, please let me know. Tell me your secret because I want to know. But unfortunately, for, let's say, quote unquote, normal humans, mortal humans, we're all aging as I speak. So that's one of the reasons. And then the other one is because the generations that are using earphones that go to, I don't know, to that go to party, to a bar or a disco or whatever, where the music is so loud, or the people who are driving with crazy loud music, and all that is affecting our ears. So as I said, guys, 30% of the world population is going to be deaf in 30 years. So this is now the opportunity for us to support projects like this one. It's right now, guys, when we are young, when we can hear well, that we have to develop these programs, that we have to develop these technologies, because if we don't do it now, what's going to happen when we grow older? What's going to happen when, and God forbid, I really hope that none of us is going to need our avatar. But if one of us will need it in the future, thank God that we have the possibility to use it. So guys, these are my my contact information. Any questions that you have, you can either contact me and I will help you if you contact me, or if you have any questions as of right now, you can raise your hand or open your mic, or if you want to write those in the chat, then you are more than welcome to do that now. I don't know, guys, like I'm just in love with this project. If you have the opportunity, go check um, that movie, Coda, the I think it's called The Science of the Heart or something like that in English. Um, it's just going to change you. It's going to change the way you think about deaf people. It's going to change the way that you will be thankful for your blessings, because so that's actually one of the things that made me thought, like, there's so many things that we take for granted on our daily basis. If you can see, if you can hear, if you can excuse me, if you can walk, if you can breathe without having to be connected to a respirator, if you can do your daily routine and do it as a quote unquote normal person. Like, one of the things that happened in this movie is that, so as I said, it's these couple who have a deaf kid, and then the daughter it's a girl that not only is well able to hear, but she can sing. And so basically his music teacher during high school discovered her, and when she has her first presentation, her parents come to see her, and they come to support her, but they can't hear her. And so what happens is that when she goes on the stage, then the camera turns to her parents, and her parents basically are trying to look around and to see what's going on by seeing the faces and the reactions of the people around them, to try to figure out if they're liking what they're hearing while she sings. And so, of course, for me, as not only as a doctor, because obviously as a doctor you already have these level of empathy for people, but also as a professional musician and as an opera singer, I try to imagine for 1 minute what would be my life without music. And you probably don't need to be a professional musician like me to try to imagine that. Try to imagine your life if you couldn't hear your son's or your daughter's voice. Like, there's this very moving scene when, after she sings on the stage, they go home and her father sits in the back of a truck with her, and he asks her to start singing for him. And so she starts singing, and he grabs her, like he grabs her neck just to try to feel the vibration of her chords. Like, guys, I was crying my eyes out, literally, because literally, what would be your life if you couldn't hear your kid's voice? What would be your life if you couldn't hear the voice of the people you love? How would your life be if every time that you go into the car, because most of us would listen to music when we jump into our cars, or even when you're doing something at home, we sometimes just put music, or we turn the TV on, or we turn our computers on just to have some noise around us so that we won't feel as lonely sometimes. And so with all this pandemic, we have been able to feel the loneliness. That's one of the things that this pandemic has put us into, right? There's a lot of depression, there's a lot of anxiety, because they have isolated us as human beings. And so it just made me think, right, of the level of isolation of these people and what we have put them through. And as I said, not because we are mean people, it's just that there's no one out there that has taught us how to communicate with them, or no one has ever thought of creating a technology, a bridge that will help us put these two worlds together. So I see that Manjula is raising her hand. I also saw that Mr. Francesco Cannone just jumped into our webinar. And so I would love for him to say something about this beautiful project. This is a surprise for me. I had no idea that he was going to jump in. France, che bella sorpresa, dai, non sapevo che c'è compagnia.
Per la nostra Wendy questo è altro.
Dai. Vuoi aggiungere qualcosa? Perché appunto stiamo già per finire.
No, ho compreso le ultime cose che hai detto e hai spiegato bene tutto il progetto. No, non ho niente da aggiungere, solo che è una grande opportunità di far parte di una grande famiglia che sta cercando di rivoluzionare il mondo della comunicazione.
And so, guys, he says that this is a big opportunity to be a part of a family that is making a revolution in the communication world. And so that's what it is, guys. So Maurizio said something yesterday that really blew my mind away, because he said, guys, we're going to be remembered by generations after creating this. This is the opportunity for us to participate from something that is actually bigger than ourselves, that we don't even know the reach that we're going to be able to do with this program. Vuoi aggiungere altro?
Posso dire che Wendy...
Sì, dai, scusa.
Posso dire che Wendy, il lavoro che ha fatto nelle ultime 2 settimane, cioè da quando è entrata nel progetto, è stato un lavoro spettacolare.
Dai, ma mi metti in imbarazzo, dai.
Vai.
So he's saying that and I'm actually blushing, the work that Dr. Wendy has been doing in the last 2 weeks since she jumped into this project has been amazing.
E quindi questa settimana abbiamo deciso di inserire sia lei che Maurizio all'interno delle persone che verranno a firmare la nuova società. Quindi lei diventa un socio a tutti gli effetti della nostra azienda.
What? Oh my God. Dai, France, grazie. And so I had no idea, guys. He's just giving me the most amazing surprise. He said that because of the great work that Maurizio and I have been doing, he is going to make us part of his business partners in this company. So wow, that's I'm very honored. Grazie.
Big word.
Congratulations, Wendy.
Thank you, Manjula. Thank you.
Bene. Io che dire, grazie, non vi rubo altro tempo. Sono entrato giusto per fare un saluto e di vedervi tutti. Grazie mille.
And so, guys, we just jumped in to say hi to everybody and share this great news. Frante, però abbiamo anche un'altra bella notizia di dare, perché ho visto che hai fatto la promo, vero?
Yes.
Allora, vuoi dire come funziona?
Sì, te la leggo perché non me la ricordo più. Allora, arrivo. Allora, abbiamo creato una promo che è la prima promo che noi creiamo in questo momento, da qui a fine mese. È una promo che servirà per tutte le persone che sono ambassador ad avere un premio in più per il credo che hanno verso la nostra società.
Ok, aspetta che devo tradurre.
Vai.
So, guys, we are launching our first ever promo. And this is actually that I actually have been pushing for a little bit for us to have promos and to motivate people to become part of this family. So this promo is going to be for those who want to become ambassadors of these projects, so that they will have an extra motivation to become ambassador, right?
Ok, quindi abbiamo stabilito 3 premi per un primo contest, che sono 20 iscritti da qua a fine mese, o se li avete fatti anche prima, se qualcuno è dentro da prima, con un fatturato minimo per l'iscritto di 500 euro.
Con un fatturato di 500 euro?
500 euro a persona.
Ok, allora,
Quindi
allora
500
20
euro.
persone, ognuno con
500.
500
Sì,
nel corso di questo mese.
sì.
Okay, guys, so this is really easy. Like all you have to do is in this first month, you have to have signed up or registered at least 20 people with a minimum of 500 euros investment, okay? And then we're gonna have 3 prizes, which are, allora, quali sono i 3 prezzi?
Allora, il primo, o meglio, il terzo classificato vince 2000 token.
So the third prize will win
2000 token.
2,000 tokens.
Il secondo classificato 5000 token.
The second prize is going to be of 5,000 tokens.
E il primo classificato vince 500 euro in coin, nella nostra stablecoin, più 10.000 token.
500 EDC e 20.000.
EDC
Uh-huh.
più 10.000 EDT.
Okay, and so the first prize is going to be able to win 500 EDCs, which is basically 500 euros, plus, so sarebbe cioè corrisponde a 500 euro?
500 euro, esatto.
And it's also going to earn 10,000 of our tokens. Okay, so it's like 500 euros and then 10,000 of our tokens. That's the first prize.
E un altro premio.
And there's another prize.
Praticamente chi raggiunge un fatturato, che siano una persona, che siano 10 persone, ma un fatturato entro fine mese di 50.000 euro.
And so for the people who has already a team and they have a total volume.
Prima linea.
Okay.
Cioè, io iscrivo una persona, investe 50.000 euro e entro in questa gara, ok?
And so on your first level, if you reach the volume of 50,000 euros, then.
E il terzo classificato vince 10.000 token.
So the third prize is going to win 10,000 tokens.
Il primo classificato vince 20.000 token.
Il secondo?
E il secondo, pardon, sorry.
The second one is going to get 20,000 tokens.
Invece il primo classificato vince 50.000 token.
And the first one is going to earn 50,000 tokens.
Già una persona è in lista, ancora dobbiamo partire. Già una persona è in lista per vincere tutto.
I think we have a person that is already ready to win all the prizes.
Bene.
All right, guys. So these are great news. We have
Poi vi facciamo arrivare tutto questo tradotto, Wendy.
Come?
Vi facciamo arrivare tutto questo tradotto, così
Sì,
almeno
sì,
riescono a leggere tutto.
quello è poco ma sicuro. We're going to be posting these promotions in our chats as soon as we finish our webinar. Actually, well, I would have to translate that. I have an appointment with my chiropractor. And then so after I go to my chiropractor, then we will post these amazing news in all of our chats. So France, vuoi aggiungere altro o diamo passo alla Mangiula che ha la mano? Okay. Okay, so Manjula, I'm seeing that you have your hand raised. So if you want to, you can open your mic.
I have. Thank you. First of all, Wendy, it was a lovely presentation and thank you for giving the insight, really. And I thank you as well. A social call ended up in this business opportunity, which is going to change millions of hard of hearing people's lives, right? And thanks for your support. Thanks, Francesco, for your support as well. Like today, I got a bit stuck. I messaged him and he replied to me straight away. So it's such a lovely feeling to be able to communicate with the CEO of the company who's got the time to do that. And it's just a lovely project. I just love the project. I didn't even know anything about the affiliation program, the compensation plan, nothing whatsoever. I fell in love with the project itself. So thank you once again. And thank you everybody for being here as well.
And you know what, Mandula,
Touched
that's,
my heart.
excuse me?
I said it touched my heart.
It does. And that's also what I love from these project guys, that the people that is coming into it is just, it's beautiful people. It's people with a heart. It's people that love serving people. It's people that really want to create something that this is so much bigger than us, guys. And if we had this little empathy, we would understand that these are the kind of projects that we need to be supporting worldwide. These projects with such a beautiful humanitarian cause. This, it happened to me like Manjula. I saw it and I completely fell in love with it. And it was all because of Maurizio Parlangeli. My dear upline, Maurizio, vuoi aggiungere qualcosa?
And
No, io non ho mai da aggiungere niente perché tu dici tutto, quindi qualsiasi cosa. Adesso abbiamo avuto la grande notizia di Francesco. Io ho assistito alla Zoom prima per i soci, è stata una cosa emozionante vedere tutte quelle persone soci con disabilità uditiva. Quindi dobbiamo andare avanti in maniera veloce, dobbiamo raggiungere questo obiettivo e ci tranquillizziamo e basta, solo questo.
And so he says that there's nothing more that he needs to add, because Dr. Wendy did a great job explaining all the business and everything. All I need to say is that I was actually able to receive these news and be a part of the meeting that they had with the business partners, and to participate along with this community of deaf people, because one of the coolest things in this company, guys, is that actually most of our business partners are deaf people. And so he's saying that he had the chance to participate with them and see, you know, like interact with them and see how they communicate and stuff. And that's something also very special. Manjula, you were going to say something?
oh yes, I was just going to say, just to share a story about my friend, right? Like you said earlier, we take everything for granted. Now my friend, she's 56 years old, right? No problem at all about hearing, but in the last 4 years, slowly her hearing had deteriorated. And now she's only 56. She has to wear 2 ear aids so she can hear. So, you know, we just don't know when anybody could end up with not hearing. Do you know what I mean? There was absolutely nothing wrong with her, and now she's deaf, you know? Wow. So it's such a good project here, you know, that understand more of the hard of hearing people. So I think Francesco wants to say something because I saw him putting his hand up, so carry on. Does he want to say? I think Francesco.
Vuoi aggiungere qualcosa?
Sì, siccome noi dobbiamo mettere a sicuro il progetto, vi chiedo di darci una mano a sponsorizzare questo meraviglioso progetto e di darci una mano ad alzare il fatturato della nostra società, perché la mano di ognuno di voi, un pezzettino vostro, può rendere grandioso questo piccolo grande progetto.
And so, guys, we really need your help. We need the help from all of you to spread the word about this amazing project, because what we really need is to be able to raise the capital that we need so we can make this dream become a reality. So even if it's, you know, 100 euros, 500 euros, whatever it is that you can contribute, it's very meaningful for us because we really are in the mission of helping these millions and millions of people. And I really would love to add something to what Manjula said, and this is something that I'm going to say for the first time in public. And y'all know I've said 10,000 times in these presentations that I'm a crybaby, so you're probably going to see me tear a little bit right now, because what she said is true. And I have two people in my family having those issues.
Oh, Wendy.
And one of them is my grandmother. She's 84 years old. And she's using also earphones. And my mom, she just went to have an exam, and she's also losing their hearing. So you never know, guys. You never know until you get it. You never know until you grow old. You never know until you have an accident. You never know until life happens, right? So that's also one of the reasons that moves me a lot, because in 30 years, 30%, guys, 30% of the population is going to be deaf. And God forbid that it's not going to be any one of us. But if we ever need our avatar, thank God that we have it. Thank God that there's one person like Francesco who thought of doing this. Quindi France, non so se hai capito, però questa è una cosa che ho detto per la prima volta in pubblico. Manjula adesso stava spiegando che lei ha una sua amica che ai 57 anni adesso ha bisogno di utilizzare degli apparecchi per sentire, perché ai 57 anni ha perso la capacità di sentire. Io purtroppo ne ho anche due persone nella mia famiglia che stanno avendo queste difficoltà. Una è la mia nonna e l'altra mia mamma.
Dai che lanciamo sul mercato questo prodotto qui e diamo l'accessibilità veramente a tutte le persone di qualsiasi età, per qualsiasi motivo e per qualsiasi situazione.
So guys, we really need to make this happen. So this is the time where we need your support, where we need to make this things happen. We need to bring more people into our family, no matter what, but we need to make this project become a reality so we can help as many people as we can. And so I don't see any questions, guys, in the chat. Let me check. Okay, yeah, I see there's no questions. I think everything was probably very clear. Please excuse me for being a crybaby. Y'all know me.
Ok, Wendy. Fantastica, super Wendy. Grazie a tutti, grazie Wendy.
So thank you everybody and thank you Dr. Wendy.
Ci vediamo nei prossimi giorni in un'altra Zoom e vi farò conoscere un po' di esperienze di persone sorde, come vivono la loro vita.
And I'm going to be sharing with you the experience of a few deaf people and how they live their lives. France, mi vuoi fare piangere ancora? He wants to see me crying again.
Yes.
Leo, tu micrófono está abierto, no sé si quieres decir algo o si se te abrió sin querer.
Quando in spagnolo ti chiedono.
Sí. Okay, so voy a cerrarlo, okay? All right, guys. So guys, just to keep in mind, this is the best time when you can participate from this project, okay? Phase 1 is almost finished. We have just a few days left. And after these phase finishes, you're never going to see the token again in 5 cents. So the time is now, the time when you're going to get the most quantity of tokens, when you're gonna get 50% unlocked on your 12th month. Guys, it's now. It, like the saying says, it's now or never, like the song says. So Theo is asking, when are we going to have a presentation in Spanish? So every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays, we have Spanish presentations, guys. And I always share the link with you. If you have any Spanish speakers, spread the word, tell them to join the webinar, and we're going to be working for you guys. This is, in 25 years of professional career, I haven't seen anything like this. This is the most beautiful project I've ever seen in my life. So just help us spread the word. Tomorrow we have the Spanish presentation at 7 p.m. USA Central Time. That's also Central Time in Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador. And so just spread the word, help us reach as many people as we can, and we'll see you tomorrow night. All right, that's, I think, 2 a.m. UK time. And then on Saturday we have our presentation, and usually Francesco joins us. I translate from Italian to Spanish. So if you know people that are Italian or Spanish speakers, then they can join as well. Y'all can join, of course, if you want to. It's just that the translation is from Italian to Spanish, okay? So guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Help us spread the word. Grazie Francesco, grazie Maurizio, vi voglio un
Grazie a
sacco
voi
di
e tutti.
bene.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye
you.
everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Ciao
And
Gabriela.
guys,
Ciao
don't
Nura.
leave this for the last minute,
Grazie
because you
mille.
have to go through the KYC in order for you to buy the tokens, and that takes a little bit of time. So you don't want to leave this for the last minute. Go buy them now, okay? God bless y'all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.